All right, welcome. I'm Kate Bays. I'm so glad you're tuning in today. I am joined by Amanda Gorman, founder of Finding Your Village. We wanted to talk today because we're both moms and we both have similar passions, and especially around the coronavirus and what you're doing now. And so, my effort today was to help you to get the word out and to help other moms who might be, in need of your services. So let's talk today, Amanda. Welcome. So glad you're here.
You.
About how you got here. What was the passion that drove you to get here in the first place? And tell us about what you're doing. Just give us an overview.
Sure. Thank you so much for having me today and for making space for this. So, I am Amanda. I'm a mom of two, and I'm a childbirth educator. So, I started a podcast about a year and a half ago, right before the pandemic started, which was just the timing of it all, about birth, postpartum, and parent mental health. And all three of those things are things that I'm very passionate about. Ever since I was pregnant with my first child, I just was curious about birth, my own birthing experience. And then that curiosity just grew and grew. And I realized that it wasn't going away, even when I was done having babies.
Yeah.
And so after I started the podcast, that passion just grew even larger. And then I decided that I wanted to become a certified birthing from within childbirth educator. And so last summer, I started that certification process. I finished that up a couple months ago, and I have launched a virtual 4-week childbirth preparation class. And of course, that is very timely with everything going on with the pandemic. I myself took 2 different childbirth preparation classes during each of my pregnancies, and they were in person, and that was fantastic. But right now, especially with the uncertainty of what's going on with the Delta variant and fall coming up, offering a virtual preparation class seemed to be the best offering and the safest choice.
Right. That's what drew me to you, and my wanting to help other moms who are panicking right now. I could totally empathize. I did all my classes in person, and you don't germs now. Just the thought of it freaks me out totally. Like having to go in there unnecessarily. Obviously, at the end point, you're going to have to be there, but everything leading up to that, like, how could I do this at home? I've got to find a way that, I could do this from the safety, the germ-free atmosphere and safety of home.
Yeah.
And when I found out you were doing this, I was like, oh, yes. And I'm sure there are others, but this is fantastic. And you worked so hard. This was a process, like the gestational process of actually having a baby, right? You said like 9 months.
Yes, it took me 9 months to get certified.
Right. How perfect is that?
Exactly.
So this is great. Okay. So now we want to make sure that people know about your podcast for sure. So tell us about your podcast.
Yeah.
Tell us how to get signed up for your classes. Tell us, where to find all this information and how we can move forward if, we're a birthing partner or, a mom or whomever.
Yeah. Thank you. So again, the podcast is about birth, postpartum, parent mental health. It's called Finding Your Village. You can search for it wherever you listen to your podcasts. And then the birth classes, if you are interested in taking a 4-week childbirth preparation series, it's all virtual, done on Zoom. And it's with me live. So I always like to differentiate because there are some online courses now that are pre-recorded.
Yes.
For my class, that is not the way that it is. It's just like this, except not broadcast for everyone to see. It is a group class. And so couples are encouraged to join together. Right now it's on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're interested in finding out more about the class or you're ready to sign up, you can go to my website, which is findingyourvillage.com. And there is yes, right at the bottom. There it is. And then there is a button for classes that you can click on. And I start the classes pretty much the first or second Wednesday of every month. So the next class is going to start a week from now on Wednesday, the 11th.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And in the class, just to differentiate this particular class from maybe other childbirth preparation classes, there are, kind of the nitty gritty long hospital-based class that talks about kind of the nuts and bolts of childbirth, incorporates that hospital's policies. Again, like you were saying, those, it's kind of up in the air if they're even going to be happening, if they're going to be in person. I don't know for your particular hospital if they're offering them virtually. And then there are other childbirth preparation methodologies out there. And I am an advocate for taking some type of a childbirth class, no matter what that class is. If it's via your hospital, via something your OBGYN or midwife recommends, whether it's a Bradley method, hypnobirthing, hypnobabies, whatever meets your need and is a good fit for you, I highly encourage it. I trained under Birthing from Within, which is a non-outcome based childbirth preparation program. And one of the many things that I love about Birthing from Within, because I took it myself, I was an actual client before I had my son, is that my favorite thing is that it is not outcome based. There is no judgment on what type of birth. We honor all types of birth, all birthing people. We use a lot of inclusive language. That's something that's really, really important to my value system. And Birthing from Within. And in my class, the three things that I really focus on that I think that all birthing people should have some type of exposure to prepare for birth are, number one, having some knowledge about the physiological aspects of birth. So to understand what's going on with your body during labor, before labor, during labor, after you give birth, what's going on with baby, what's their experience like, what are the different stages of labor. I think kind of that nuts and bolts information is good to have a foundation about. The second thing that you'll get with my class is I focus on pain coping techniques and exercises to help you know what to do when you don't know what to do. So no matter how you give birth, whether it is unmedicated, with an epidural, via induction, via cesarean section, pain coping techniques or discomfort coping techniques can be very, very helpful if you are in physical pain, or if you're in emotional distress, or if you're feeling fearful or nervous. I have some breath awareness techniques that I go over that really help ground the birthing person and just bring them back to that present moment, which is helpful in any scenario in which you're giving birth. And then I go through some exercises that give your brain the opportunity to observe what you do when you don't know what to do.
I love that.
Thank you. In labor, in the early days of parenting, in current days of parenting, you bump up against that. You bump up against those times when you don't know what to do next. And so we do some very cool multi-sensory activities, even some artwork, actually, which some people might balk at, but it is not about being a good artist. It's just about practicing, giving your brain the opportunity to practice. And then the third thing that I focus on in my classes is incorporated in the title of my business, my podcast, Finding Your Village. So I think it's really important for parents to find their parenting village before they give birth. Ideally, especially if you're a first-time parent. But what do I mean by village? It can be anything that you have in your resource bucket, be it people, books, podcasts, articles, anything that you kind of have in your toolkit to be a resource to you and to support you during your parenting journey. So it can be family, friends, your birth team, a doula, a childbirth educator. Those are all external resources. And I also talk about the importance of cultivating internal resources that you can pull on from yourself in those moments that you need them.
So you talked about the resource of the podcast, and these people can tune in and you can be that soothing voice. I tune in regularly to this. This helps me so much through this process or this stage. Tell us more about your podcast.
Sure. Yeah. And so I follow that idea of finding your village and the importance of that in the podcast itself. So I am going to talk about my own experience with birth, postpartum, and mental health challenges, things that I have overcome, things that help me stabilize my mental health and just be the best person and mother that I can be. And then I also interview experts that can be part of someone's parenting village.
Sure.
So I interview doulas, speech language pathologists, midwives, OBGYNs, parent coaches, breastfeeding consultants. I mean, like the gamut of what could be a helpful resource during those early days of parenting. Because the goal of my show is to make the early days of parenting more connected.
Oh, I love it. That's wonderful. I love what you're doing. I think
Thank
it's
you.
great. I'm so glad that we had this opportunity to share it out, into the world and get people who are going, I really don't want to go into that hospital. I really need that support. I don't know where to turn.
Yeah.
And, having that, I wish I would have had a back then, even though I didn't need to be in a virtual class at that point, even that option would have been great to have.
Yeah,
'Cause the
absolutely.
germs still exist in a hospital, whether it's
Absolutely.
COVID or not. And
yeah. And some past clients that I've had have said, I actually really preferred to be in the comfort of my own house, like in my
yes,
living room with my
yes.
pillows on my couch when I'm talking about these very private topics of giving birth and my body. And so that was a point that I never thought about as well, of just having your items in the comfort of your space
Yes.
to be talking about these things.
Yes. Let's circle back one more time. Tell
Yeah.
us your next class, where to go, and we'll just wrap with all that so everyone knows where to find you.
Yeah, thank you so much. And
Of
thank you for
course.
this opportunity. I
Of
really, really
course.
appreciate it. So
Moms have
my
to stick together.
That's right.
Parents
Absolutely.
have to
Parents have
stick
to stick
together.
together. Yep,
Totally.
totally agreed. So the next class starts on August 11th, on Wednesday, August 11th, and the classes are a couple hours long for 4 weeks, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And to sign up or find out more, go to findingyourvillage.com /classes to get
Okay.
directly to the class link. And if anybody would like to talk to me before signing up, or if you have any questions, you can email me, Amanda at findingyourvillagepod.com.
Nice. Okay, great. So thank you again for your time, for going through all of this, for being a resource for people going through this, because my goodness, it's not an easy process.
That's right.
It definitely takes a village.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks, Amanda.
Thank
And
you so
folks, if
much.
you are a nonprofit or a business looking to spread the word, get the word out, promote, whatever it may be, get in touch with me, Kate Bays, and let's do something similar like we did here with Amanda to help you get the word out as well. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. What a fantastic experience. Just fantastic to meet you and to be able to do this. So have a great day. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Bye, you too.